What's up? My name's Mike Carr. I'm an intern here at Dark Horse Recording in Nashville, Tennessee. And this is installment number one of what'll hopefully be some kind of meaningful video diary with regards to being an intern at a recording studio and the career path, foolish or not, of somebody attempting to make a living as an audio engineer. I started my internship here in July of '07, and it's currently March 1st, 2008. So I've been here for about 7 months, and so far so good. I think it was a decent move, even though some would argue the definition of decent. I mean, I had a perfectly good job. Rent was paid, bills were paid. Could go out on the town with the wife every now and then. But when you get right down to it, you can either do what you got to do or demand more and do what makes you happy and make a living that way. And I just realize I'm not the type of person that'll be happy until I'm doing exactly what I want to do. Not necessarily my way all the time, because nobody gets that. But anyways, I chose to come here because, honestly, the website was impressive. I like the South, and, also because they offered me a position as an intern, which was very cool, because this is one of the few studios, from what I gather, especially in the Nashville area, one of the few professional operating studios that lets the interns get in and get their hands dirty and get stuff happening and learn the craft. And that's really what this whole thing is about. I mean, a lot of us here have gone to school. I graduated from Berkeley in '99, and yeah, I'm old, and yeah, I'm a late bloomer, but fuck you. It takes what it takes. This is what happens when you try to be a rock star for a long time, and then, all the associated BS with not making it there. The point is if music or art is in you, and if it's in you deeply enough, you'll eventually one day realize you have no choice but to risk it and try to make it happen and make something meaningful and make a living that way. The craft of audio engineering is something that I don't think, no matter how good the home studios get, no matter how fast computers get, no matter how cheap interfaces and microphones and desktop podcasting fucking packages get, no matter what happens with all that stuff, it's a certain breed of people. It's a certain mentality. It's a certain approach to listening. It's just a certain attitude and vibe that not everybody can do. And that's why you see a lot of the same names on records that sell a lot. And I'm not talking about the talent. I'm talking about the production staff. Why is Rick Rubin booked from now until 2012? Why has Metallica used Bob Rock for everything they've recorded since 1990? It's 2008. You know what I mean? There's plenty of other people they could have used. It's just some people have a mojo. All the people who have had any kind of influence on me, production-wise or engineering-wise, and that influence happens not only through the records that they've produced and engineered, but through interviews that you occasionally get to read, or if you're lucky, sometimes you get to meet one of these dudes, or if at school you have like a master class or something, you get to see somebody work hands-on. Anybody who's influenced me has made music that is different than everything else that's going on. I mean, there are plenty, and by that same token, there's producers with a sound, and then there's producers whose sound gets aped and copied, and feebly attempted at copying through all kinds of different stuff. I mean, why does everything sound the same now on modern rock radio? There's just a sound that people find exciting, and the tangent that I'm about to go off into is the lack of dynamic range, and I don't really want to get into that right now because I think that's something for a little later, future installment. The point of this thing is, you know, about being an intern in the first place, and that's kind of the only way to do this. If you're lucky enough to be born with a silver spoon or a silver fader under your finger, nobody's going to give you any respect. If you get a gig through nepotism or trying to buy a gig, it's not going to work. You have to pay your dues just like a musician does. You have to suck shit. You have to get in the van and do it. You have to, you'll work in crappy studios, and when you get to good studios, you'll do crap work. Until such time as you can force your way to the front of the pack by somehow distinguishing yourself from the millions of other people who would kill themselves, in order to get the opportunity to take out the garbage where you're taking out the garbage. That's why it kind of pisses me off when I hear interns complaining about shit like that. So fuck you, quit. Go get a job at Starbucks. Go, maybe you should have listened to your parents and gone to law school or med school. Or what the fuck ever they wanted you to do. You got a position that a lot of people would be really, really, really grateful for. And it's something that you should be grateful for every day. Look around. Point that camera over there. Look at where we work.